All right, everyone, buckle up, because today we are diving deep into a song, a moment in internet history that, you probably still have stuck in your head.
Oh yeah, this one is a classic.
Bed Intruder Song. We are talking 2010, Auto-Tune was king, and this song, well, it kind of broke the internet. We're using Wikipedia's article on it, by the way. It keeps us objective.
Good source.
Our goal here is to go beyond just the catchiness. Yeah, it's a catchy tune, but what made it explode like it did? So picture it. July 29th, 2010, Huntsville, Alabama. Local news. WAFF 48, doing a report, serious stuff, an attempted rape. Now, the victim's brother, Antoine Dodson, he gets interviewed. And let me tell you, this interview, it's something else. And because it's 2010, this news report. Uploaded, boom, website, and YouTube. Things are about to get wild.
This is where it gets really interesting, because you got to remember, 2010, that's pre-TikTok, pre-Vine. Going viral wasn't as instant as it is now.
Totally different world back then.
Right. But even so, within 48 hours of that news report going online, the Gregory Brothers, you know them, auto-tune the news. They dropped the Bed Intruder song.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Antoine's words, some beats, and suddenly this thing is everywhere.
Billboard Hot 100. It hit number 89. For a song born from a news report, that's insane.
And the iTunes sales, over 100,000. Think about that. Back when people actually bought downloads, this thing was huge.
It really makes you think, how did this happen? What was it about this song that captured the internet's attention like that?
It's a wild ride, right? From local news to the Billboard charts. But there's another side to this whole thing we got to talk about. Yeah, this wasn't just some random internet meme. There were real people involved, a real family who had been through something truly awful.
Exactly, and that's where things get kind of ethically murky. You have this serious crime, and suddenly it's the source material for a viral hit.
It's a tough one, for sure. And the Wikipedia article touches on this, mentioning that the Dodson family actually received 50% of the song's profits.
Wait, really? They got a cut of the profits?
Yep, which actually allowed them to move to a safer neighborhood. So in a way, this unexpected fame ended up having a positive impact on their lives.
That's wild. Okay, so it's not just about exploitation then, right? There's this whole other layer of, like, empowerment almost.
It's complicated, and it really makes you question those boundaries, you know? Where's the line between finding humor in the unexpected and potentially profiting from someone else's trauma?
No easy answers there. But you know what else I find fascinating? The sheer volume of creativity this one song sparked. The article mentions thousands of covers and parodies, everything from marching bands to, get this, Hayley Williams from Paramore did a punk version.
It's like that term pinata cheese from Know Your Meme uses, the democratization of spoofing. This wasn't just a top-down hit. It turned into this massive, collaborative, creative explosion online.
It's amazing, right? People taking this thing, making it their own from all corners of the internet.
It speaks to the power of the internet back then, even before things got as crazy as they are now.
Totally. But I gotta be real, with that many covers, some probably missed the mark, right? It couldn't all have been gold.
Oh, for sure. There's always a risk when something goes that viral, the message can get distorted, and yeah, some people are going to take things too far. Which brings us back to those ethical concerns we were talking about.
Like that music journalist, Jason King, he said something about how, and I'm paraphrasing here, how this whole thing felt like turning black poverty into a punchline without any real context.
Yeah, that's from an NPR interview about the song. A lot of different perspectives in that one. It gets at the heart of the issue, right? Even if the intentions are good, even if the outcome is positive for the family, there's still that question of representation, of how we portray and consume these kinds of stories.
And it's not like the Gregory brothers were oblivious to that, right?
Yeah.
They talked about wrestling with the ethics of it all themselves.
Exactly. Michael Gregory, one of the brothers, he admitted in that same NPR piece, it wasn't a simple decision. They knew they were walking a fine line. But in the end, they felt like they were taking something negative and trying to make something positive come out of it, especially with the Dodsons benefiting financially.
Which, again, brings us right back to square one.
Yeah.
Can those good intentions, can a positive outcome ever fully erase the potential for exploitation?
It's a question that still haunts us today in a lot of ways. But there's another aspect to this whole Bed Intruder song phenomena that we haven't touched on yet.
Go on. I'm intrigued. What else is there?
Well, it's not just about the creators, right? It's about us, the consumers, the ones hitting play, sharing it with our friends, laughing along.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. What's our responsibility in all of this?
Exactly. Barrington Thurston, you might know him from The Onion, he brought up this idea of class tourism. when talking about this song.
Class tourism, that's a new one.
Basically, he was saying people were consuming this meme, having a laugh, without really engaging with the very real, very serious issues at the heart of it. Violence, systemic inequality, these things weren't just abstract concepts, they were the backdrop of this whole situation. But it was almost too easy to just brush past them and enjoy the song.
Wow, that's a sobering thought. It's like we're all guilty of it sometimes, right? Getting so caught up in the entertainment that we forget to look deeper, to acknowledge the bigger picture.
Exactly, and that's what makes the Intruder Song such a fascinating case study. It's this bizarre time capsule that forces us to confront these uncomfortable truths about ourselves, about how we consume information and entertainment, even when it's rooted in something serious.
Makes you wonder if this happened today in our even more chaotic online world, would things be different? Would we react in the same way? It really makes you think, doesn't it? How something so seemingly trivial, a catchy song, can hold up a mirror to these bigger issues.
It's like we've been saying, right? The internet might have changed a lot since 2010, but these questions, they stick around.
Yeah, representation, exploitation, the power of going viral, those are still things we're grappling with every day.
And it's so easy to get swept up in it all, the speed of it. 1 minute it's a news report, the next it's a song, then a million memes, and before you know it, we've moved on to the next thing.
Exactly, and that's what I think is so valuable about taking a step back, like we're doing now with this Wikipedia article. It lets us hit pause, really examine this one moment in internet history.
It's like a case study, almost.
Totally. And it reminds us, even with something as seemingly lighthearted as the Intruder Song, there's often more going on beneath the surface.
Right, like that quote from the article that stuck with me, someone saying, I can't get this out of my head. It's catchy, sure, but I think it's more than that. It's that weird mix of humor and real life, It gets stuck in your head because it's both funny and kind of unsettling at the same time.
Totally agree. It's like you're laughing, but there's this part of you that's also like, should I be laughing at this?
And that, I think, is the key to understanding the whole Intruder Song
Right.
phenomenon. It's not black and white. It's not easy answers. It's a reflection of us, of how we deal with these complex, often uncomfortable issues in the digital age.
Well said. It's a lot to chew on, for sure, but that's what these deep dives are all about, right? Taking the time to really dissect these moments, these pieces of internet history, and see what they tell us about ourselves.
Absolutely. And who knows what the next viral sensation will be. But you can bet we'll be here, ready to break it down and see what's really going on.
So until then, keep those critical thinking caps on, Internet Explorers, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.